Horror's unexpected. ROI: a $2 million indie slasher just netted $90 million at the box office. Yes, Terrifier 3 turned a shoestring budget into a 45x return, enough to make any Personal Finance fan scream with delight. Blumhouse's Five Nights at Freddy's did something similar, grossing about $292 million on just a $20 million budget. Even Talk to Me, made for $4.5 million, earned $92 million worldwide. By contrast, a $250 million superhero movie might only quadruple its cost. Horror's budget to gross math is wildly different. This is pure ROI magic. Horror films often deliver impressive returns on investment. Movies like Stephen King's It, 2017, have grossed over $700 million, and The Sixth Sense made about $673 million on modest budget. Those figures underscore the genre's profitability. Small budgets, massive payoff. Industry data backs it up. Studies show horror has the highest chance of returning its initial investment and offers the best opportunity for a breakout success. In real terms, horror is like a high-risk, high-reward stock pick that often pays off big. For a personal finance mind, it's simple math. A film that cost $5 million, think Get Out, making $255 million is equivalent to finding a penny that suddenly reads $50 on your budget spreadsheet. Even Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey proved it. A $100,000 budget, and it still grossed $7.7 million, elevating horror, art, and awards. A wave of elevated horror films has both critics and accountants cheering. These movies pair artistry with profitability. Hereditary, 2018, cost about $10 million and haunted its way to $90.2 million globally. Get Out, 2017, was made on $4.5 million and earned $255 million. The Australian indie, The Babadook, $2 million budget, still creeped out audiences enough to bring in $10.7 million. Even schlock horror Blood and Honey, $100K budget, managed $7.7 million. These films flipped genre expectations. No A-list stars or CGI extravagance, just strong stories and practical effect. The result? Cult classics and bankable hits. Just like investing in a startup with a killer idea instead of an established giant, horror producers bet on creativity. The payoff is huge. A24 made waves, turning $5 million gloom into $80 million plus box office with films like Everything Everywhere All at Once. The lesson is clear. Lean production plus big ideas yield fat profit margin. Eventizing horror, launching a cult. Horror fans don't just watch movies, they experience them. Studios capitalize on this by turning releases into events. Remember the midnight screening phenomenon? Paranormal Activity, 2009, rolled out in just 12 theaters, grossing $500K in one weekend of midnight shows. Buzz spread online, and the distributors expanded to more theaters, all from a movie that cost $15K to make. It went viral before TikTok was even a thing. Horror releases use several tricks to drive viewers through the door immediately. Limited runs and amp. Midnight premieres. Scarcity creates buzz. A film playing only on Halloween weekend or a single midnight show feels urgent. Fans line up, share the excitement, and sales spike. Fan events and amp. Hype parties. Special screenings with costume contests or appearances. See Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Saw series fan nights. Make it social. Suddenly, watching a horror flick is a group thrill. Social media storytelling. Marketers now weave scary tales online. For Smile 2, Paramount even ran a TikTok ARG, where influencers dropped cryptic clues. One viral livestream event had followers believing TikTok star Ariana Haley was living Smile's nightmare in real time. By premiere day, Smile 2 was the talk of TikTok and Twitter, a guaranteed must-see. #NAMP, influencer campaigns, viral TikTok trends, and horror memes amplify reach. When fans post their reactions or recreate spooky scenes, it's free marketing. As one campaign bragged, such stunts transformed TikTok into a stage for suspense, so the film dominated the cultural conversation pre-release. This event-driven strategy turbocharges opening weekends. Horror's communal thrill, screaming together in a packed theater, is the ultimate FOMO engine. And it pays off. An explosive first weekend can make a low-budget horror instantly profitable. Virtual reality. Horror, the next dimension. Horror's focus on immersive fear is expanding beyond screens. Virtual reality is the next frontier. It can transform a scare into a full-body experience. Theme parks have already banked big. Haunted attractions pull in $300 and $500 million a year. So VR horror is a natural next step. Immersive expansions. Big studios see this. Universal's launching year-round horror parks and VR attractions based on classic monsters. Films might soon come with VR tie-ins. Imagine buying a VR short sequel after the movie, or a Haunted Mansion game based on a film's universe. Each VR add-on is a new revenue stream. Personalized terror. VR can tailor scares to you. The VR Collective notes, VR can craft scenarios that tap into individual fears and heighten the sense of the unknown. Picture a VR setup that senses your reactions and amps up creepiness in real time. That personal touch in horror is like having a haunted ride built just for you, and fans will pay a premium. Year-round horror profits. Unlike a theater run, a VR horror game or attraction doesn't vanish. Sell tickets and downloads indefinitely. The horror brand lives on. Think Resident Evil VR headset games or seasonal VR haunts, multiplying the original investment. Analysts even project the VR horror games market to more than double in the next few years. In short, VR extends horror ROI beyond cinema. It's like a movie producing a whole subsidiary business. For personal finance buffs, this is diversification 101. Film plus interactive VR experiences can make the overall project even more lucrative. Gen Z and AMP. Horror. Why the kids still love it. Generation Z is wired differently, and horror aligns perfectly with their tastes. This generation craves authenticity, creativity, and community, all of which horror delivered. Gen Z grew up on homemade content and DIY culture, so practical effects and gritty production values, think Terrifier's homemade gore, feel more real than over-polished CGI, DIY, and AMP. Authenticity. Gen Z influencers share behind-the-scenes horror makeup tutorials and fan-made short films. They appreciate a raw aesthetic. A 0.1M prop can leave a bigger impression on them than a $50 CGI scene. Social media obsession. TikTok and Instagram turn horror into participatory art. The smile. 2. TikTok campaign shows how even a fictional horror story can become a viral reality for Gen Z. Memes, challenges, e.g. add eyes without face filters, and short reaction videos spread awareness faster than any trailer spot. If it's trending, Gen Z will jump in to see what's up. Shared escapism. Younger viewers also use horror as a coping mechanism. Research cited by VR industry experts shows that experiencing fear in a controlled setting helps build real-world anxiety resilience. In other words, confronting monsters on screen is a safe way to face personal demons. For stressed-out Gen Z, horror nights can feel cathartic and communal, a loud, collective exhale of tension. In sum, horror's core appeal, authenticity, adrenaline, community, meshes with Gen Z's value. The younger crowd even skews horror box office. Studies find horror audiences tend to be younger. By leaning into social platforms and raw storytelling, horror studios keep hooking the next generation of scare seekers. Personal finance lessons from horror. What's a personal finance fan to take away? Horror movies are basically investment case studies in miniseries form. They show how small, smart bets can pay off wildly. Low cost, high return. Like bootstrapping a startup, horror filmmakers keep budgets tight. They don't splurge on stars, who cut deep into profits. Yet if their product, the film, has strong concept and buzz, it can outperform any big budget. It's the difference between penny stocks and blue chip. Event-driven growth. Horror's emphasis on premieres, fan engagement, and viral marketing is akin to a limited IPO or flash sale. It drives quick spikes in interest and revenue, then capitalizes on word of mouth. Diversification. A franchise isn't just a movie. It's sequels, merch, VR experiences, and fan events. Each new channel spreads risk and boosts overall returns. High risk, high reward. Yes, not every horror film becomes it. But when one hits, it hits big. Studios know this, so they keep producing them. It's like putting a small fraction of your portfolio into volatile but high upside assets. An acceptable risk given the outsized potential payoff. In horror, almost every penny on budget can turn into $1 on gross. For viewers, it means more inventive content. For financiers, it's proof that even a tiny investment can spawn a blockbuster. So next time you see a horror trailer, remember, it's not just about screams, it's about supreme ROI. Enjoyed this blend of cinema and strategy? Hit subscribe for more stories on how money and culture intersect. Give us a thumbs up if we scared up some useful insights today.